Assalamu alaikum. This is Btv-Chakraborty welcoming you to the English news from Btv-Chattogram. Let's begin with the headlines. Adversary Council special meeting prays for swift recovery of BNP chairperson Begum Khaleda Zia. Speedy recovery of BNP chairperson sought as leaders of various political parties visit her at the hospital in critical condition. Schedule for 13th national election may be announced in second week of December, says Chief Election Commissioner. Begum Khaleda Zia fights for democracy, ignoring bloodthirsty eyes of autocrat Sheikh Hasina, comments BNP Joint Secretary General Ruhul Kabir Rizvi in Chattogram. Trump administration halts asylum decisions in the wake of shooting of 2 National Guards in Washington, D.C. And Bangladesh score 87 runs, losing 2 wickets in 10.1 overs against Ireland in second T20 international of 3-match series in Chattogram. Viewers, those were the headlines. Now moving on to the details. A special meeting of the Council of Advisors prayed for a swift recovery of former Prime Minister and BNP chairperson Begum Khaleda Zia. Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus chaired the meeting at his office in the capital this morning. Religious Affairs Advisor AFM Khalid Hussain administered the dua. The meeting gave in principle and final to the draft of the Foreign Donations Voluntary Activities Regulation Amendment Ordinance 2025. The amendment brings changes to several sections of the current law, simplifies NGO registration procedures, and eases conditions for the release of foreign grants. From now on, donations up to 50 lakh taka per year will no longer require approval. The law has been made more stakeholder-friendly. Besides, the draft of the Police Commission Ordinance 2025 was placed before today's meeting, while the Council of Advisors instructed for placing the draft again in the next meeting in the more detailed and revised form. At the meeting, Expatriates Welfare Advisor Dr. Asif Nazrul informed the Council that the remaining 24 individuals who had been detained at various times in the United Arab Emirates on allegations of participating in the July mass uprising will be released very soon. He said they are expected to return to the country within 2 to 3 days. Former Prime Minister and BNP chairperson Begum Khaleda Zia remains in intensive care at the hospital in a critical and severely ill condition. She is currently undergoing treatment at Evercare Hospital in the capital. She was admitted to the hospital last Sunday with breathing difficulties caused by a lung infection. There has been no significant improvement in her condition. Leaders and activists from various political parties, including the BNP, have visited Begum Khaleda Zia at the hospital. During the visit, they called upon people of all political affiliations to pray for the BNP chairperson's recovery. On Saturday morning, the BNP issued a press release regarding Khaleda Zia's physical condition and the matter of Tariq Rahman's return. Shortly afterward, Tariq Rahman posted a status on his verified Facebook page using similar wording on the same issues. Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus expressed a deep concern over the current health condition of former Prime Minister and BNP chairperson Begum Khaleda Zia. He has been regularly monitoring her medical progress and has instructed all concerned to ensure all necessary medical support. Following the Chief Advisor's directive, Law Advisor Asif Nazrul visited the hospital to inquire about the former Prime Minister's condition. Leaders of the National Citizen Party, NCP, also visited the hospital to see the ailing BNP chairpersons. During the visit, NCP Chief Coordinator Nasiruddin Patwari, Senior Joint Member Secretary Tasnim Zara, and Chief organizer of Southern Region Hasnat Abdullah, among others, spoke to the media. Earlier, on Friday night, BNP Standing Committee member Mirza Abbas visited the hospitalized BNP chairperson. The 79-year-old former three-time Prime Minister has been suffering from multiple complications, including arthritis, lung problems, and eye-related issues. Meanwhile, the BNP organized special prayers and supplications seeking the speedy recovery of the hospitalized former Prime Minister and party chairperson Begum Khaleda Zia yesterday. President Mohammad Shahabuddin has wished speedy recovery of former Prime Minister Begum Khaleda Zia. He has made this wish at his juncture of the transition to democracy. The president prayed to Almighty Allah and urged the countrymen to pray for her quick recovery. Chief Election Commissioner CEC-AMM Nasiruddin said the schedule for the 13th National Parliamentary Election may be announced in the second week of December. He said this today while observing a mock voting event organized by the Election Commission at Sher Bangla Nagar Girls High School in the capital. The Election Commission organized this mock voting exercise to give participants real-life experience of the upcoming 13th National Parliamentary Election and the referendum. He said the mock voting was organized to give voting experience to individuals who have become voters in the last 15 years but have never cast a vote before. He added that the law and order situation has improved significantly compared to before. The Election Commission aims to deliver an election similar in smoothness and order to today's mock voting. From 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., senior voters, students, third gender individuals, persons with disabilities, and voters from the Election Training Institute ETI project participated in the mock voting. ECE-AMM Nasiruddin, along with election commissioners and senior officials, observed the mock voting activities. BNP Joint Secretary General Ruhul Kabir Rizvi said BNP chairperson Begum Khaleda Zia has fought for democracy in the country, ignoring the bloodthirsty eyes of the autocratic Sheikh Hasina. He made these comments at the program organized to provide financial assistance to the families of martyrs killed in the July uprising and victims of torture during the dictatorship in Hadazari of Chattogram today. Rizvi said Sheikh Hasina tried to kill Khaleda Zia by food poisoning in person because of her popularity. He sought the prayers of the countrymen for the speedy recovery of Begum Khaleda Zia. BNP's chairpersons in Chattogram Divisional Co-Organizing Secretary Barrister Mir Muhammad Helal Uddin presided over, while Amra BNP Poribar Member Secretary Abul Qasim, BNP Media Cell Member and Amra BNP Poribar Co-Governor Atikur Rahman Ruman, and agriculturist Maqsudul Momin, among others, addressed the program held at the local Miracle Government Primary School. Amra BNP Poribar provided financial assistance to 40 families of martyrs killed in the July uprising and tortured during the dictatorship. Later, prayers were also held for the recovery of Begum Khaleda Zia. Now, international news. The U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services Director Joseph Edlow said the Trump administration is halting all asylum decisions in the wake of the shooting of 2 National Guard soldiers in Washington, D.C. He said the pause would be in place until we can ensure that every alien is vetted and screened to the maximum degree possible. The announcement came hours after President Donald Trump pledged to permanently pause migration to the U.S. from all third world countries. A U.S. National Guard member has died from her injuries after Wednesday's shooting, for which an Afghan national has been blamed. Officers at the USCIS, a branch of the Department of Homeland Security, were instructed to refrain from approving, denying, or closing asylum applications received by the agency for all nationalities. A human rights group warned that the entire Palestinian communities have been forced into lockdown in parts of the occupied West Bank as the Israeli military continues to carry out wide-scale deadly raids in the territory. Save the Children said on Friday that families in the northern West Bank have been forced to shelter inside their homes due to the fear of violence from the Israeli military, while launched and intensified operation earlier this week. The child rights group said the lockdowns are keeping children out of school, jeopardizing family incomes, and increasing risk of physical violence and child detention from the Israeli military. Israeli troops laid siege to large swaths of the northeastern Tubas governorate starting on Wednesday and carried out a series of major raids in other cities and towns across this occupied West Bank, including Jenin. Israeli forces have included and injured dozens of people in the Tubas area since the raids began, the Palestinian news agency Wafa reported on Friday, while more than 160 others have been detained. Rescue workers in Indonesia are continuing to battle to reach victims in several devastated areas submerged by cyclone-driven torrential rain over the past week, as authorities said the death toll has now reached 248 and would likely continue to rise. Indonesia's National Disaster Management Agency, BNPB, said on Saturday that the number of confirmed casualties following this week's catastrophic flooding and landslides now stands at 248, with more than 100 people still missing after rescuers in West Sumatra's Agam district recovered more bodies. More than 500 people have also been injured. Suharyanto, head of the BNPB, said the death toll is believed to be increasing since many bodies are still missing, while many have not been reached. Swaths of Indonesia, Malaysia, and Thailand have been inundated with days of torrential rain, killing about 400 people across the three countries in total, after a rare tropical storm formed in the Malacca Strait between the Malay Peninsula and the Indonesian island of Sumatra. Cyclone Ditwa swept northward across Sri Lanka on Friday, leaving 46 people dead and 23 missing amid widespread floods, with torrential rain and strong winds expected to cause more flooding in the next 12 hours. Most deaths were caused by landslides triggered by more than 300 mm of rainfall in the eastern and central regions across and according to officials. Nearly 44,000 people were affected nationwide, and many sought refuge in schools and public shelters, according to the Disaster Management Center. The Irrigation Department said it expected the floods that have already affected countless areas across southern and eastern Sri Lanka, including many parts of the capital, Colombo, to spread even further. The Colombo Stock Exchange halted trading early, and schools and train services remained suspended. Military and police coordinated evacuations, including the airlifting of 13 people trapped on a bridge off Polonnaruwa, 220 kilometers northeast of Colombo, the Air Force said. Numerous families trapped on rooftops and one man stranded on top of a coconut tree were also airlifted to safety. Now, sports news. Bangladesh are batting targeting 171 runs set by Ireland in the second T20 international of three-match series in Chattogram. Bangladesh have scored 116 runs, losing 2 wickets in 12.4 overs when the report has last come in. The match started at the Birshreshto Shohid Flight Lieutenant Motiur Rahman Stadium at 6 p.m. Bangladesh have no option but to win to stay in the series, as Ireland lead the series. Ireland lead 1-0 after a commanding 39-run victory in the opener, a result that has put them on the brink of their first ever men's series win against a full member side in Asia. Earlier, Ireland scored 170 runs, losing 6 wickets in stipulated 20 overs. Harry Tactor's sparkling unbeaten 69 of 45 balls powered Ireland to 181 by 4 before Young left Arm spinner Matthew Humphreys produced a sensational 4/13 to derail the Bangladeshi case. Despite Tauhid Ridwai's fighting 83, Bangladesh could manage only 142/9, suffering their first defeat to Ireland at this venue after two previous home wins.